Hey everyone, today we're going to do a no spoilers review of the new movie Hobbs and Shaw, so let's get into it. So Hobbs and Shaw is the newest installment in the Fast and Furious franchise. It is the first spin-off, and it is the movie that all Fast and Furious fans wanted. When after Furious 7 came out, Universal Pictures said something on the lines like, we have the next 10 years or 5 years or whatever of these movies blueprinted. And on the blueprint was a Hobbs and Shaw movie, which is the spin-off that fans have been wanting for forever, because Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham just work so well together. And we finally get this movie with them together, pairing up, being the anti-heroes, fighting each other as well as bad guys, and this movie totally delivers. I absolutely love this movie, and I'll go even as far as to say it is a great movie. I think it is one of the better ones in the Fast and Furious franchise, and it is such a good time at the theaters. I saw a super late showing at the time of this recording. It is currently passed over to the other day, like I'm recording this past midnight, and what a great way to begin my weekend. I have work tomorrow, and I'm like, I don't even care. I'm on such a high. This movie was so entertaining, so much fun, so much good action, good characters, really funny too. Like Jason Statham and Dwayne Johnson not only have great chemistry together, but their characters and the way that they handle each other and carry themselves through this movie it's so enjoyable. You want to go on adventures with them, like in any capacity. Now you put them together and it's just an amazing thrill ride that just does not stop. And Vanessa Kirby, shout out to her. She wasn't just another damsel in distress like most movies, make women to be sometimes, and she wasn't just like a pretty face. She carries herself. She is right alongside Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham, and she is a great addition to this movie. What we wanted originally was a duo, being Hobbs and Shaw, and we ended up getting Vanessa Kirby's character, and they made a great trio. I love the way they work together. I want more of the three of them together, including another Hobbs and Shaw movie. Like this was just so much fun. And one of the issues I had with the last Fast and Furious movie being Fast and Furious 8, or The Fate of the Furious, was that it got too ridiculous for me. I really enjoy the Fast and Furious movies because up until a point, I always thought they were grounded. Granted, they really walked that line of like jumping cars through buildings and sliding underneath trucks and stuff, but at least those first 3 or 4 of them got it right. They kind of got the physics right. They got the world right. It felt like a legitimate car movie, racing movie, and then I still think that they retained that groundedness through 5 and 6, and I know that, the pulling the bank out of the vault and dragging it on the highway and the whole plane scene. I don't know. To me, that still felt like, there's just enough there to like, yes, there's still some realism, and, then 8, just went all over the place, and I thought it was too much of just all this bubblegum movie stuff. There was so much going on. It wasn't as cohesive as the other movies, and I was really worried about Hobbs and Shaw being even more like Fast and Furious 8. I thought for sure that they were gonna embrace that wackiness, that science fiction aspect, full bore, and just keep getting away from race and keep getting away from what little realism it had left, in favor of just trying to make the best piece of entertainment that they could. And honestly, Hobbs and Shaw does take it a step further, but it doesn't cram it down your throat, because it's in the trailers. The villain is played by Idris Elba, and he's a super soldier. He is augmented and stuff, and Hobbs and Shaw definitely is the most science fiction of the Fast and Furious movies, but it serves it up to you in a way to where it's not mind-numbing. It's not like Transformers movies. It's like, what? It's like, okay, I get that. I see the map. I'm following it. Now I'm locked in. It's not just like, oh, what's this? What's that? Explosions, grunts, fighting, cars, women. It's not like that. They sell you on this premise really early on, and honestly, I was like, what? To me, that makes sense. Is it over the top? Is it a little off the rails at times? And is it just like really crazy? Absolutely. And it's not like so bad it's good, and it's not just like at least it's fun. I legitimately think this is a great movie. I was so entertained. I want to see it again, and I'm telling you, while you know there is the super soldierness and like there's cars doing like corkscrews while Jason Statham is like shooting people from throughout the windshield and stuff, like a lot of the science fiction stuff is there. But even if they did jump the shark again in terms of like going beyond Fate of the Furious, I don't know, just the way they presented it was in such a nice, clean, fun way that it didn't bother me. I don't know if this is a directing thing, a writing thing, or all the above or something else, but just the way that they were able to present this movie as not being just a loudmouth, like 2 hours of explosions and stuff like that. They were able to just sell you on, here's a really good movie with some really good characters played by amazing actors who you're going to enjoy from start to finish. And I did. I want more of these. Before I saw Fate of the Furious, I watched all 7 Fast and Furious movies, like literally within like a week. And I'm a huge fan of this franchise now. I love it so much. All those movies hold this really special place in my heart. And this one is definitely up there for me. I want more spin-offs, more movies in the series, and I want more Hobbs and Shaw movies. I want Hobbs and Shaw 2, 3, and 4. I want a case of them, and it was so much fun. I can't express this enough. This movie was so good, and you have to go see it. This movie deserves to be on the theater. It's not overblown. At times it gets really close, but it doesn't overflate itself. There's a lot of alpha male stuff going on there. This movie is probably the wet dream of some 18 to 25 year olds, and stuff. But I'm telling you, like, once they get kind of past that like, wings beer sports, mentality, it becomes just a really good movie. And like seriously, all the characters in here had a lot of good serviceable moments. It wasn't just The Rock and Jason Statham just being two huge muscular guys, throwing each other through buildings. There was a lot of good serviceable stuff here. And again, Vanessa Kirby, she nearly steals the show. She is awesome. She carries herself well, and I want to see more of her character. I hope she comes back for future installments in any capacity. I think she is just delightful. Same with Idris Elba. If they bring him back, too, like everything they set up in this movie, Hobbs and Shaw, and I won't spoil anything, but everything they set up, you're not just like, oh gosh, another one, like, oh, here's the next chapter. You genuinely leave the theater wanting to see what they do next. At least in my case, I love this movie so much. It was such a great time at the theaters. It made me realize how much fun going to the movies can be, especially when you go in with kind of tempered expectations and you end up getting just this amazing time. And you know what? You just got to go in and just be like, you know what? Fast and Furious has always been a little crazy. I'm going to embrace what craziness comes from this, and your enjoyment's going to go just through the roof. Don't expect them to reinvent the wheel. Don't expect them to take this super seriously. This is a super fun, good time. I can't stress this enough. You have to see this movie. It's so much fun. I can't wait to see it again. And so that is my no spoilers review of Hobbs and Shaw. Please go check this out. If you like this video, comment, share, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. All right, peace.